Hi there, it's Chris Kerr, and I'm here with yet another video today to tell you a little bit about some of the changes and insights I've had in the radio industry, and talk radio in particular, because businesses have for a long time had challenges in being effective in the talk radio space. Let me explain. Talk radio hosts are businesses on their own. Right? Every talk radio host is their own business. Whether they are representing the station itself, whether they're representing their own stuff. Dave Ramsey is a great example of it. Whether you're talking about Dave, whether you're talking about Matt Monero, whether you're talking about pick one. I don't really care. Any of the big stars, they have their own businesses. They make their own money out of it. Howard Stern, the whole 9 yards. So now we're talking about something a little more specific. If you want to reach the audiences that these people reach, then you go and talk radio. That's the idea. But here's the big difference. As far as talk radio is concerned, the idea behind it is this. You go to a local terrestrial or normal radio station, you pay $1,500 to $5,000 to $10,000 a month. They get a producer, they get a team together, they build your lead-ins and your intros and your music and all that kind of stuff. They get your sound beds. They work with you, coach you a little bit on how to present yourself on air. Everything else is yours. The ad sales is entirely yours. Whatever money you want to make, you need to both earn whatever it takes to pay down the $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 you're spending a month for your radio show, but you also have to split whatever you earn with the station. So whatever ads you get on top of that, you're splitting 30, 50, 70% with the station. Now you've got to make enough money to not just pay yourself, but pay your staff who are helping support you with that show outside of whatever the station provides. Let's say you have a co-host. They need to get paid. Now you're talking about having to earn $10, $15, $20,000 in advertising your first month, and keep doing that every month thereafter, just to be able to have a relatively modest $5,000 a month income out of it. That's after you've paid everything else, right? So that's a lot of money in advertising you have to go get when you're not an advertising salesperson. That's not your job. That's not your role in life. You're there because you're a content person who's an expert in whatever subject you're an expert in, but it's not advertising sales. That's not your job. Well, now as a talk radio host, it is your job. You have to balance putting great content that gets you more listeners on the table with selling more ads that puts bread and butter on the table. That's a tough battle to manage. And then you're going to manage the work that you get out of your radio show in terms of additional referrals and sales and whatnot. And now somewhere in there you start juggling and balls get dropped, and this is not where you want it to go. So that's the talk radio model of today. Around the world it fits the same model. It's always been like that. And so I've come up with a completely different way of doing it. Not even related. It's not close. In fact, to be really blunt, there's no paid advertising at all. It doesn't rely on paid advertising. Yeah, there's ads, but these are for ads that we want to share. We actively choose to share a variety of ads for strategic partners, affiliate partners, other hosts, books of our hosts, events of our hosts. We get to choose what we put in our ads. We're not dependent on a single advertiser, period. Not one. Totally different ballgame, right? We rely on a whole lot of different things for revenue. First off, every host gets a membership site. Every host. So the membership site, the listeners listen to the show, they like it, they want more of it, they want more from it, they pay $10 or $20 a month, they get upgraded content, they get more stuff, they get tools, they get courses, they get training, whatever it is that host offers is what they get for their 10 or 20 bucks a month. Now you have really happy fans, you have your regular listeners, and you have a host that can focus on what they do best, which is the content. That's what they do best. So you have better quality content, better quality extras, and everything's focused on what they do best, not really what they do worst, which is the advertising sales, right? So that takes a whole different game plan to deal with. And so we've gone one better. Now, not only do you get a membership site as a host, you also get your own app for your show. It's a show-related app. Now, the show-related app also has some unique features to it. It's free to download. If people want to log into their membership, there's a login button right there, makes it easy. And now you have the ability for me to market the apps as well. And I can guarantee that I can get 25,000 downloads in your first 60 days without batting an eye. So imagine a radio show where you start off with 25,000 listeners before you even get your first 60 days under your belt, right? Very, very few terrestrial radio shows can guarantee that. A lot of them will do it only because you're filling in a time slot that somebody more successful has just left. They couldn't afford the syndication anymore, they couldn't, whatever the deal is. There is a residual pattern of people who are starting to listen simply because they've always listened at that time slot anyway. That's the only other way typically you get a fill-in of that kind. And because of that, you pay a premium price. You pay a time slot premium for those particular kinds of shows. So nothing comes free in that industry, right? But I can guarantee you get 25,000 just getting rolling without any of the other marketing and promotion that we're doing for the station or anything else that we're doing. Because we have syndication already built in. We already have another radio station that's launching as well, and it's going to carry a lot of our shows too. On top of that, we have ads on various platforms. We have our own PR processes. Every show gets 3 to 5 press releases every week, depending on what's going on. So, for example, we do before, during, and after press releases for each show and for each of the guests that are going to be on your show. We do press releases for if you're going to have an event that week, if there's something else that's notable, maybe your mastermind or your membership site has something going on that week. We do press releases all week long to drive extra attention to your show, as well as the same thing for our station. So now we've got lots and lots and lots of attention coming in every week on top of all of our advertising, on top of all of our promotions, contests, other stuff that we're running to get more listeners. So we're doing that all on top of anything you want to do to promote your membership site too. This is all stuff you don't typically get ever from any other kind of a station because they're all dependent on you selling your advertising. They may sell some ads, in which case they'll split it with you. You get the smaller share again. But they'll sell some ads because they like making money too. But they're not going to fill up your advertising just on their own. They ain't going to do it. You got to go do that in a normal radio environment. Talk about normal online. If you're doing podcasting on your own, you know how hard it is to get 25,000 listeners. It's not easy. It takes you a year and a half to get to 25,000. Maybe you get to 50,000 after 2.5 years. It's brutally nigh on impossible to get to 100,000 normally with a normal podcast. And that's not even paying members. That's just people who are subscribers, right? So by the time you get through all of this, what we've put together with guaranteed listeners, guaranteed downloads, the ability to have membership site-driven revenues instead of paid advertising, the ability to get your events, your masterminds, your books, your ebooks, your promotions all done on top of that. We drop in 3 months free on the hosting side. Our hosting rate is only $200 a month. There's a $995 setup fee, $995 to get it all set up the first time. But after that, $200 a month, and your first 3 months of hosting are free. Kind of hard to beat, right? If you think about where you spent your marketing dollars before, it's brutally hard to beat. That's why I can tell you I have dramatically changed how radio gets done. Same thing's coming on TV when we've got our Roku channels and the other stuff that's going on. We can have shows that are all focused on content, and you don't have to worry about the advertising sales, the other marketing stuff that goes. You don't have to worry about any of that nonsense. That's all focused on driving solid content. People then engage with your membership site. That's how you get paid. 500 subscribers is your $5,000 a month, and those, if you've got 25,000, 100,000, whatever subscribers to your newsletter and app and whatnot, that's not the world's biggest challenge to be able to go fulfill, right? If you get 1,000 members, even bigger money. So we're already in that ballpark. If you want to find out how this works in detail, if you want to get with me and figure out how you can be one of our hosts, I want to take this moment to really present a case to you as to why you want to do it today. Today is August 22nd, 2016. That leaves 9 more days in August before we hit September. And we all know September through December is the biggest selling point of the year for products, for training, for coaching, for all that stuff happens September through December. In fact, the last 3 weeks of December, you're not selling much of anything unless it's a product. And then it's on overdrive, right? You got to be selling hyper in that last 3 weeks. So when we're talking about you getting your products, getting your books, getting your info products, getting your membership sites, getting your radio show out there in a way that everybody else is going to see it, hear it, engage with it, and buy from it, clock's ticking. This isn't a decision you want to put off until a month from now, 60 days. You want the decision today so we can be working with you to put it all together today. And in the next week or 2, 3 weeks maybe, have your first battery of shows recorded so that you've got the time to catch up and do everything else you want to do in terms of preparing for more shows in the coming months. We can help you figure out the time strategy, figure out the content strategy, the marketing, get the memes done, get the graphics done, get the website built, get the app built, get it all built, configured right so everybody's getting paid, everybody's doing what they need to do, and the viewers and listeners are getting what they want most: great quality content. You want to get with me right now and make sure that that's your game plan for the rest of 2016. It'll sell you more books. It'll sell you more courses, more speaking gigs, more opportunities. Imagine on your LinkedIn being able to post that you have, in the first 60 days, 25 or 50,000 downloads of your radio talk show app. Imagine what that would do for your speaking opportunities. And I can guarantee it. Not the world's biggest chore. All you have to do is pick up the phone today and get that underway. 623-252-4489. 623-252-4489 or sales@reyactive.com, REYACTIVE.com. Talk to you soon. Cheers.